While the Russian Orthodox Church continues to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the signing of the Act of Canonical Communion between the Moscow Patriarchate and the Russian Church abroad, special celebrations continue in the Eastern American Diocese. On August 1st, parishioners of St. Seraphim's Church in Seacliff, New York, marked not only their patronal feast day, but another important historical event as well. In accordance with the June 14, 2012 resolution of the Synod of Bishops of the Russian Orthodox Church abroad, St. Seraphim's Church received the status of a memorial church to the reestablishment of full brotherly communion and unity within the Russian Orthodox Church. The First Hierarch of the Russian Church abroad, His Eminence Hilarion, Metropolitan of Eastern America in New York, came to the church to personally present a gramota, bestowing the new status on the church to the parish rector, Archpriest Seraphim Gan, and parishioners. His Eminence celebrated the Divine Liturgy, co-served by their graces Bishop John of Caracas and Bishop George of Mayfield, Vicar of the Eastern American Diocese, as well as local and visiting clergy. Standing in the middle of the church were two holy icons, that of the corkscrewed icon of the Mother of God, before which St. Seraphim of Sarov was healed as a child, and a pre-revolutionary icon of the church's patron saint, housing a piece of his relics. After the great entrance, the First Hierarch ordained Protodeacon Nicholas Olchovsky, guardian of the Kursk icon, to the priesthood. Upon completion of the liturgy, a Moleben was served to the Most Holy Theotokos and Saint Seraphim before the wonder-working icon, after which the new iconostasis, part of the church's new fresco project, was blessed. The church's unique iconography is the work of priest Paul Akhmolin and is dedicated to the millennial path of the Russian Orthodox Church from the conversion of Russia to Christianity to the signing of the Act of Canonical Communion. Only twice before in the history of the Eastern American Diocese has a church received the status of a memorial church: St. Vladimir Memorial Church to the Millennium of the Baptism of Russia in Jackson, New Jersey, and St. John of Rila Memorial Church, dedicated to the memory of St. John of Kronstadt. All three churches are adorned with unique iconography of the Jordanville School, all of which bear witness to the church's unique status. The founder of the Jordanville Iconographic School, Archimandrite Kiprian Pizhov, personally completed their frescoes in Jackson and Utica. The new status of the memorial church to the reestablishment of full brotherly communion is important not only for parishioners and for members of the Eastern American Diocese, but in the opinion of those present, for the entire Russian Church.
Важно, я думаю, что в каждой епархии иметь такой храм.
I think it's important for every diocese to have such a church. The reunification was hugely significant and marked the beginning of a new era in the life of the whole Russian Church. Of course, there were good and serious reasons at the time for breaking off relations, but with the collapse of the Soviet Union, naturally, the mandate for independence and total separation from the Russian Church expired.
На независимость и полное отчуждение русской церкви.
Это разделение было.
This division was painful, and the people who lived through it suffered and prayed for things to change. Prayed as we always pray at every great litany on the third petition, for the union of all. The union of all took place 5 years ago, by the grace of God.
По милости Божией.
То, что произошло в 2007 году.
Many thought that what happened in 2007 would never take place. The unity that we accomplished in the Church, thanks to which we today live a full universal life in the Church, is a true miracle, a miracle that transpired before our eyes.
Чудо, которое совершилось на наших глазах.
Главное это то, я думаю.
The most important thing, I think, is that we are now a part of the fullness of the universal Church, the Church of Christ, and Metropolitan Antony, who founded our church, spoke of this, and I think it is very important.
Я думаю, это очень-очень важно.
Я из Кливленда приехал сегодня.
I came from Cleveland today to support this celebration and this historic event when St. Seraphim's Church was presented a gramota, confirming it as a memorial to the reunification of the Russian Orthodox Church.
Памятники воссоединения Русской Православной Церкви.
Мы очень рады, что действительно рядом.
We are overjoyed that close by, not far from the synodal headquarters, from the center of the Russian Church abroad, and from our other parishes, we will have our own memorial church dedicated to this event. Here we can remember that moment for ages to come, bequeathing it to our children and grandchildren, that they might see it with their own eyes through the frescoes in this church, that they might be able to come here and pray, and see how much suffering the Russian people and the Russian Church overcame, persecutions, sorrows, and this awful schism. And they will see that today we have reunification, and this memorial church will remind all of us, through God's grace, what a miracle took place with us, with the church abroad, and with the entire Russian Church.
Произошла с нами, со зарубежной церковью и со всей русской церковью.
Храм-памятник необходим, потому что
The memorial church is a necessity because it obligates us to seek peace and unity in our own interactions, not only in our local parish life, but in our relationships with the outside world and in our sermons.
с внешним миром в нашей проповеди Господь заповедовал, чтобы мы все любили.
The Lord commanded us all to love one another. If we will seek this, if we will attempt to make this a reality in our lives, then naturally people will flock to us. They will flock to the church, because they will feel safe here, they will feel comfortable, they will feel life truly reign here.
Чувствовать себя комфортно. Они будут чувствовать, что здесь на самом деле жизнь жительствует. И если у нас сохранятся память,
And if we preserve the memory of this beneficial peace and unity, always keeping this good example before the eyes of our heart, then we will naturally strive toward this peace ourselves, following in the footsteps of our spiritual elders.
наставников.
Since the re-establishment of peace in the Russian Church after the reunification 5 years ago, we often call to remembrance those who did not live to see this joyous time. One such man was the former rector of St. Seraphim's Church, Archpriest Mitrofan Znoskoborovsky, later Bishop of Boston, vicar of the Eastern American Diocese.
He happened to be one of the people that felt a very long time ago that this reunification was something that absolutely had to happen.
Свою первую поездку в Россию
On his first trip to Russia, he met with His Holiness, then Patriarch Alexei II, and in the following meetings to which I remember being a witness, Bishop Mitrofan met with one cleric of the Moscow Patriarch and said the following words: "I want to see radiant faces on the hierarchs. May their faces be radiant, and then we will unite." I think we saw these radiant faces, and so the unification took place. Thank God, perhaps even by the prayers of the ever-memorable Bishop Mitrofan, and this church bears witness to that.
и молитвами уже преснопамятного епископа Митрофана все произошло так вот.
Going forward, as the sorrowful years of division draw to a close, such churches as St. Seraphim's Memorial Church will serve not only as a reminder of events past, but will themselves become spiritual centers, where the faithful might come to pray and learn more about the rich heritage of the Russian Orthodox Church.
Мы очень хотели бы, чтобы этот храм стал местом.
We would very much like for this church to become a place of prayerful commemoration, a place where the divine services will be celebrated on the anniversaries of momentous historic events, as well as a place to learn about the legacy of our fathers, the founders of the Russian Church abroad, the new martyrs and confessors of Russia, and all those who served the cause of unity. While negotiations were being held about the reunification, we often turned to the labors of our fathers, the struggles of the new martyrs, and in those struggles, in the words of those spiritual laborers, we found the answers to the most complicated issues we faced. Therein, we found a path to the resolution of the problems that divided us.
К решению этих вопросов. Я хотел бы предложить всем,
I would like to propose to all those for whom the heritage of the Russian Church abroad is dear to come here and pray with us on days of commemoration and, if God wills it, to gather together and study the legacy of the saints. Come here and penetrate the deeper meaning of their works with us.
чтобы вы приходили сюда и вместе с нами вникали в суть их творения.